Hello everyone and welcome back to StarMade. So last episode we left off, I was working on one of the control towers for our base, and right now I'm running to gather some more supplies so we can work on the basic layout and shapes, and that's what we're going to be doing in this episode. I'm going to be laying down a whole bunch of foundation with the hopes of basically... Did I just get hit by something? There's a pirate station nearby, I guess. Let's put the shop in between us and the pirate station so that doesn't happen. I'd rather not take any unnecessary damage right now. At some point we're going to have to kill that pirate station. But it's got a pretty far range from the looks of it. It's using probably some sort of sniper turret. Anyways, before I get really interrupted by our wonderful pirate friends, we need to try to work on a bunch of foundation today, laying out the general shape of the base and things of that nature. So let's go to a different shop. Basically, I'm loading up on paint because all the shops that I usually go to are kind of out of materials, and so I'm just going to be making some black hall to do our foundations in. And foundation work is very important whenever you do a large build or anything like that. If you do kind of put finished pieces together next to each other, they might not always work, though sometimes that can look pretty cool because it looks like a modular kind of organic structure that kind of grew over time. But as long as you have that mindset when you're laying out the foundation, it can look like that pretty easily. Just keep buying some paint here. 200 more black paint. Do you have any black hall? You do. You have 800. I'll take that, and I'll take the 300 wedges. Sweet. Thank you so much, person. I wonder if we can hire AI. That might be pretty cool. I don't know how well it would work, and I don't know why I'm drifting off to the right either. Oh well. We're just going to be charging up our jump drive here. Just make a quick jump back to our home world. I did do a little bit of off-camera work, which, as we're on our way home, I'll go ahead and edit that in for you guys. And we are home. So, hope you guys enjoyed the little bit of process that I did record. It is sped up fairly quickly, but you know, it's just a little bit of a speed build to go a bit of an overview of what I have done. And here is kind of the current shape of things. I'm gonna have this tower kind of off on its own, and then this back building and some type of bridge connecting our tower to the rest of the base. And then also there's this lower door that I'm sure you guys are a little curious as to what that does and how that works, which was a little bit of a challenge. It's not as hard for sure compared to like Minecraft, but getting some of these circuitries to work can be, you know, a little bit of a challenge. You just need to read up on it and know the basics to do so. So right now it's a very flush door, and essentially there are two ships docked on the rails, and when I press a button it kind of knows what to do, and it switches the rail direction, and it moves these doors that are actually ships away from the center, and it opens the door. Now these aren't the actual finished door pieces that I want. I do want it to be this orange color, but I'm going to be looking for the yellow and black kind of caution thing to run down that center line, so you guys know it is definitely a door. And then in here there'll be more stuff. I think this is going to be the main factory area, so it's going to be fairly open, a lot of storage. I'll be trying to optimize our factory in this space. And then if I hop into a build block, you guys might be able to see things even easier, at least in that sense. I'm going to be trying to do some brightness correction in post-processing for you guys. We do have some lights on top. I do plan on making a rotating kind of radar dish, which will hopefully look kind of cool. You can see this control tower is still very cylinder in shape, and I have kind of rounded off the edges with these gray angular hulls. And then over here you can see the current foundations that are being added. And we're just going to keep constructing onto this. So here in this section, some type of offshoot room thing. And then if I do a 3 wide hallway back here, that might work. Okay. Now building in StarMade, at least base-wise, can be a little bit slower than Space Engineers, but that's just because the block size is smaller. It's like trying to build a space station at a small ship block. So you're not really going to want to do that. It's not very efficient. But then again, it would look pretty nice because all that extra detail you could fit in that otherwise wouldn't be there. And I'm really hoping at the end of the kind of bug squashing period that we might end up getting some type of multi-block merging like we have in Medieval Engineers and Space Engineers, and that'll open up a whole lot more on what people can currently do in that game. This section is just gonna have a plex door. It's almost like a airlock. That's what I'm thinking. Storage area. This is kind of just an open section. You know, I might end up doing a hallway here. To allow for a room in this area. Is that right? Nope. Now it is. There we go. Let's see. Something. Something like that. I think we'll do just fine. That ain't too bad, if I might say so myself. Then this is gonna go up here. We're gonna have kind of the main command post, which will be kind of like a command center. I mean, the tower is more for ships coming in and out rather than that specific role as just commanding our post. Nope, wrong blocks. Alright, let's try to get up the walls here, just so. Measure this out. How tall does this need to be? I think this is right. Alright, and boop. Boop. Nope, 7 is still right. We need to switch this to 10. There we go. Gotta make sure we are going in the right direction. Throw a wall placement here. Sorry for all the clicking right here as well, but I don't want to really use advanced build. Just get rid of these kind of useless blocks that are in the way. Okay, so there's that section. Now we just run it the opposite direction one last time. There we go, and come on. Now I might need a staircase connecting up to the upper floor for sure. I just don't know where I want to put that. Switch these numbers again. And seal the room off for now. It's kind of our lower factory area. Some type of beam works or struts and things like that will be needed for sure. But I think that we're going to be working on that off camera in between episodes and bringing up all these walls. At least that's the plan right now. I'm going to go ahead and kind of explain a little bit farther on how these doors function. So I have these signal buttons here, and these are the trigger for the open and close. And they both act the exact same. And so what happens is these, let me just cut away here, are directly connected to this wireless block, and this wireless block communicates to the receiver inside here and connects to this flip-flop signal. Okay, and what happens is it causes it to trigger these depending on what's not actually currently triggered. So I think currently these two control the rails on the left side, and since it's closed, it's currently set to this. Okay, and so if I were to activate this, it should just open the doors like so. If I can activate it again, it should close the doors, because it's going through the NAT symbol and realizing that it just needs to toggle and switch. Of course, we have a wireless block here that's connected to that one. And then these ones, because I built this a little weird, these rails correspond to these. And so essentially you just have a rail facing the direction connected to the button, and these buttons are connected to the rails that the button's going to affect, essentially. So if I select these button over here, you can see it's going to affect these rails. Same with this one, and then depending on the state of these, it just toggles a switch. And then these are always on anyways, and so as soon as it switches, it just moves. That's effectively how the rail system works in this game. It's actually really nice. Compared to Space Engineers, I think this is a better solution. I mean, you can do rotation and things like that, and effectively build your own pistons. So inherently, I think it's a better system than Space Engineers. It also, I mean, surprisingly works really well. There's no lag, there's no glitchiness, because it's just riding on this defined path every time. There's no physics involved with it. And if Space Engineers get rid of their physics for just that thing, I think everyone would be okay with it, to be honest, because if you hit it with something, it would still deform. And then if it became detached from the rail, then physics would cause it to tumble about. But you don't need physics on an object attached to a rail, in my opinion. But what do I know? I'm not building the game. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, this is probably going to be a short episode. I got working on this a little later than I wanted. Also, I'm thinking about putting the power cord down there. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Oh god, where am I getting it? No, not what I wanted. I need to somehow land on this thing. Balance? Can it balance? Nope. Or yes it can. I don't know how. Oh, it's just hitting the ground. Anyways. Down here, plan is for our main power grid. Or at least a main power grid. It's not so much probably the big one. But if I were to do this, just for now, it might be pretty cool. Shields also probably a must, just so we are 100% safe. And then let's bring this up. To there, and now we have a nice kind of efficient, at least for our space that we are given. You guys probably can't see any of this. I don't care. I'll see what I can do. Anyways, for the space given, we effectively have these four corners, giving us a whole bunch of power. Let me just mine my way out. I should have just done this in the build block. I think it's a little silly of me to have just jump in there like that. Let's put this wall back. There we go, good as new. No one can tell the difference now. And my ship is so part crooked. Let's go ahead and move this back over to base. Anyways, if you guys have enjoyed the episode, feel free to subscribe to my channel for more kind of nonsensical building kind of tutorial, walk around. You get to do some cool stuff. This is in survival mode, so it's not quite as quick going compared to Medieval Engineers or Timber and Stone. Timber and Stone, you just have, I have 30 people in a town doing stuff for me, not by myself. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next episode.